Welcome to Energy Works, class number 1, The Veil Between the Worlds. As we move into this time of Halloween, the veil between the physical world and the spiritual world becomes thin. Leading up to this time, you may have noticed a certain anxiety or nervousness. You could have felt some depression or loss. During this time, many people reflect on, how did I end up where I'm at? I thought it would be different than it is now. You may look at yourself in present time and think, how did I get here? You may have gained weight or taken on a negative energy that you've never had before, or feel a sense of hopelessness that maybe your intentions won't come through. It may feel like everything is an uphill battle or a struggle. Everyone on this planet has anxieties, whether you're rich or poor. It is a state of the human condition, and we all experience these anxieties and reflect it in different ways. You may think that you're in charge of your thoughts, your actions, or what you do with your body. But the moment a person says their intention, they do the opposite. How many people do you know that have good intentions, that when they say they're going to do something or accomplish something, their backspace drives them in the opposite direction? How many times have you sabotaged yourself? I'm going to do it, you believe it, and then sure enough, an energy comes in and destroys the whole thing. Many times this happens because of the programming when we were younger. When someone in our family said, I love you, but get out of here, where there was a double message. When one moment they can say how wonderful you are, but the energy that you sat in, you felt sad and depressed, that the two worlds didn't quite make sense. You may say your intention and you may mean it, but look at your backspace, the unconscious side of yourself. What does it do? Where does it move you? Where do you usually end up? Do you end up hopeless because you think that it's not going to work? There is another energy that moves us, that comes from our genetic line. The energy of our ancestors that hasn't been resolved, that gets passed down to us. Whatever they have not finished or completed is left for us to complete. You may think, well, how can this be? You may not have known your ancestors. You may have had a good relationship with the deceased people in your family. Or you could have been disconnected or hated them. Regardless, there's a certain frequency in you that you came in on that matched the frequency in your family. And that there's a certain frequency when your relatives pass, not all of them, but some of them will attach to your energy field and start to play out in your space. Halloween is a perfect time and a perfect opportunity to transform these patterns. Leading up to Halloween, the energy of your ancestors intensifies. Even after Halloween, that week after, if you're an extremely sensitive person, you would have started to felt this energy in you, and you may not know what it is, come on a month ago. realize that this is a time and an opportunity to change your life, to change the patterns that continue to play out in your life and that will get passed down. It's an opportunity to help yourself, to help your ancestors, and also to ask them for help. If you're working on a project or you'd like to create something new or a new relationship, you can ask them to help you from the other side, the spiritual side. When you look at your ancestors, even if you don't know them, you can see them as an energy or a frequency. By just saying hello to your genetic line, even if you didn't have a connection or like them very much, is very important. When you can say hello from the physical plane into the spiritual plane, it connects the two worlds. And it gives you an opportunity, and it gives you and them a way to grow and change on both sides. For something to exist, it must be observed. Even if the person was mean and nasty, if you can say hello to that person in the light and move them to the light, they will be free. And if they are free, you are free. We are all connected. And the moment you go into resistance to someone in your family is the moment that you take on that energy and have to manage it. When you are stuck in darkness, it's hard to move out of darkness without communication from somebody outside your space or their space. When you say hello to your ancestor and hook them to the light, it gives them the opportunity to release from this physical plane where they may be fragmented or stuck and hooked into the people around you. Many times our ancestors attach to our field because they can't let go, because they're afraid. And when you're unable to let go and move into that transitional space into a spirit, you move into a waiting place. You move into a place that's stuck where there's no movement. And when you can't move, you can't grow. The way to move somebody out of a waiting place is by saying hello, by you moving the energy. Have you ever known someone at a certain age and all of a sudden maybe they've become anxious? All of a sudden they're turning into their grandparent? All of a sudden they have certain mannerisms? At a certain time, at a certain age, certain energies start to kick in. So just notice that and start to even release that from yourself, because we take on the energy and we may think it's us. And by thinking that it's you, you're accepting an energy from your genetic line that really you need to let go of, and that you can help move so that they can grow, and the benefit that you get is growth too. So just look at your genetic line and notice if you have any resistance to your parents, to your grandparents that are deceased. The resistance that you may have is a doorway or opening for energy to get played out in your space. You may think it's easy to die and move into the light, but when energy scatters and divides, it's very hard to get out of this life. That is why we practice letting go of our thoughts, letting go of attachment. Say hello to your ancestors. Move them into the light. Tell them it's okay, that they can come back any time, that they are free to move in between the worlds. What do you do when you love your grandparent? when you've had somebody so close in your life that you love so much that died. It is such an impact on our life, and that we feel that to some degree that they don't exist. It's very important when our loved ones die or people that are close to us die that we say hello to them as if they were there right next to us. And now is the opportunity where we can feel them in our physical environment. And by honoring them and saying hello to them and validating them and how they've impacted our life and give gratitude for them, they can grow and we can grow in that light. That there is no divide. We are not divided, but we are connected to them. That they continue to affect our life and give us light from the other side and us to them. You can even imagine this connection through your heart. This is where the worlds meet, where the spiritual world meets the physical world, where there's a loop from your heart up to the source, and there's a loop from your heart to the planet connecting the physical world. When you imagine this figure 8 with the energy moving up to the spiritual world, then you feel this connection that you have with your genetic line and also your guides and the angels and the diamond beings or the light beings. Most of us experience isolation and loneliness in this life, where at times we may feel separate or divided. But the truth is that on that other side, we have so much support, we have so much love. We have people cheering us on. And so by saying hello to your ancestors, it changes them. It brings them into the light, even if they were bad people. By saying hello to your guides and to the angels and to the light energy that's there to support you. Imagine that you're in a stadium and imagine all of this love and support coming from your genetic line and the vibrations and energy from the field moving to you, helping you, cheering you on. You are not alone. Say hello. The more you say hello to your loved ones and ask for their help and ask that they support you, they will help push your relationships through. They will help guide you. They will help you get a job. Ask for the light. Ask for this energy. And imagine this love and support coming to you as you move this love and support to them. See this energy in the figure 8. Connect the two worlds. In this time, if you can, light a candle and put a name of your ancestors by a lit candle and just connect them to the light, and maybe make a little altar by honoring and or hooking them to the light, the ancestors maybe that you don't like. It takes the energy off of you, and you're asking then too for your guides to support you in this time and to put a white bubble around you for protection and guidance. So enjoy doing this and merging those two worlds, so then we can bring that spiritual world into this physical world so that everyone can see. Thank you for joining.